Nuru can't give you what I can. Think about it, Adida. A life of luxury, everything you've ever wanted. In a picturesque African village, surrounded by lush greenery, a young girl named Adida grew up with dreams of a better life. The sun would rise every morning, casting a warm glow over the village huts, filling the air with the melodious songs of birds. Adida came from a very poor background where every day was a struggle for survival. Despite the hardships, her spirit was unbroken, and her smile could light up the darkest of the days. Adida's family lived in a small, thatched roof hut on the outskirts of the village. Her mother, Mama Abena, worked tirelessly on the farms, while her father, Baba Kwame, was a fisherman. They had little, but they shared everything. Adida's dreams were simple. She wished for a better life, a life where she didn't have to worry about the next meal. Despite their poverty, Adida was blessed with loving parents who instilled in her the values of kindness and generosity. Adida, never let our circumstances define who we are. We are rich in love and spirit, and that is what truly matters. Adida nodded, her young mind absorbing her mother's wisdom. Yet deep down, she longed for more. She wished for the pretty dresses she saw other girls wear, the toys they played with, and the food they enjoyed without worry. One sunny afternoon, the village was abuzz with excitement. A festival was being held in the neighboring village, a rare occasion filled with music, dance, and joy. Adida, curious and eager to experience something new, convinced her parents to let her attend. As she wandered through the lively festival, taking in the sights and the sounds, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around to see a young man with a gentle smile and eyes that shone with sincerity. "Hello," he said, his voice warm and friendly. "My name is Nuru. I couldn't help but notice your beautiful smile. Would you like to dance?" Adida blushed and nodded, her heart racing. "I'm Adida. I'd love to dance." As they danced, Nuru and Adida began to talk. They shared stories about their lives, their families, and their dreams. "What do you want to do in the future, Adida?" Nuru asked, his eyes filled with genuine interest. Adida thought for a moment. "I dream for a better life of my family. I want to be able to provide for them, to make sure we never go hungry again." Nuru smiled. "That's a noble dream. I have big dreams too. I want to go to university, get a good job, and provide for my future wife and family." Adida's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "University? That sounds amazing. What do you want to study?" "I want to study engineering," Nuru said with determination. "I want to build things that will help our village and others like it. And once I have a stable job, I want to marry the woman I love and start a family." As their relationship blossomed, Nuru and Adida spent more time together. They talked about their future, dreaming of the life they would build together. Nuru was deeply in love and was willing to do anything for Adida. One evening, as they sat under a tree, watching the sunset, Nuru shared his dreams with Adida. "Adida, I want to marry you one day," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "But first, I need to go to university and build a future for us. I want to make sure I can provide for you and our children." Adida smiled, touched by his sincerity. "That sounds wonderful, Nuru. I believe in you. I know you will achieve your dreams." Nuru's eyes shone with happiness. "And when I graduate, we'll have a beautiful wedding. We'll build a house together, and I'll make sure you and our children have everything you need." During the years that Nuru and Adida were in love, Nuru's parents, Mama Adjoa and Baba Mensa, always welcomed Adida with open arms. They treated her like the daughter they never had and often spoke of her as their future daughter-in-law. Mama Adjoa and Baba Mensa lived a simple yet fulfilling life. Mama Adjoa was known for her healing abilities and often treated villagers with her knowledge of traditional medicine. Baba Mensa was a skilled carpenter, creating beautiful furniture and helping with repairs in the village. Their modest home was a testament to hard work and love, filled with handmade items and a sense of warmth and community. Whenever Adida visited Nuru's home, Mama Adjoa would greet her with a warm embrace. "Adida, my dear, welcome. It's always a joy to see you," she would say, her face lighting up with a smile. Adida felt at home in their cozy house, which was filled with handmade furniture crafted by Baba Mensa and adorned with beautiful traditional decorations. The house was always filled with the aroma of delicious food that Mama Adjoa cooked with love. "Nuru is lucky to have found such a wonderful woman," Mama Adjoa would often say as she and Adida prepared meals together. They would chat and laugh, sharing stories and recipes. The family meals at Nuru's house were always lively and filled with laughter. Baba Mensa, with his calm and thoughtful demeanor, would engage everyone in discussions about life, village, history, and culture. "Adida, you are part of this family," Baba Mensa would say. "We are grateful to have you with us." Adida appreciated their kindness and felt a deep sense of belonging whenever she was with Nuru's family. They supported her dreams and encouraged her to pursue her aspirations alongside Nuru. One evening, as they sat around the dinner table, Mama Adjoa spoke to Adida with a heartfelt tone. "Adida, we see how happy you make Nuru and how hard he works for your future together. We want you to know that you always have a place in our home and in our hearts." Tears welled up in Adida's eyes. "Thank you, Mama Adjoa, Baba Mensa. Your kindness means so much to me. I will always cherish being a part of this family." Nuru and Adida often talked about their future in the presence of his parents. They discussed their plans for marriage, building a home, and starting a family. Mama Adjoa and Baba Mensa offered their wisdom and guidance, always supporting their dreams. "We will help you both in any way we can," Baba Mensa said one day. "Your happiness is our priority." Adida felt a deep sense of gratitude for Nuru's parents. They had become her second family, and their home was a place of warmth and love. While Adida genuinely cared for Nuru, she had a personality that was more inclined to take than give. She enjoyed the attention and the gifts Nuru showered her with, but she didn't put in the same effort to reciprocate his love. One day, Nuru brought Adida a beautiful necklace he had saved up for months to buy. "This is for you, Adida," he said, placing the necklace around her neck. "I saw it and thought of you." Adida's eyes sparkled as she admired the necklace. "Thank you, Nuru. It's beautiful," she said, but her mind was already thinking about what else she could ask for. As time passed, Adida realized the extent of Nuru's devotion. She began to take advantage of his kindness, asking for more and more. Nuru, blinded by love, never hesitated to fulfill her wishes. He gave her his savings, bought her clothes, and even helped her family financially. Adida, on the other hand, enjoyed the comfortable life Nuru provided. Nuru's friends and family noticed the changes in him. He was always tired, working long hours, and neglecting his own needs. They warned him about Adida, but he refused to listen. His love for her was unwavering. He believed that one day Adida would realize how much he loved her and would love him back equally. One afternoon, Nuru's best friend Django approached him with a look of deep concern. They met by the river, a quiet spot where they often went to talk. "Nuru, we need to talk," Django said, his voice serious. Nuru, exhausted from a long day of work, sat down on a rock by the water. "What is it, Django?" Django sat beside him, his shoulder-length twisted hair swaying in the breeze. "I'm worried about you, my friend. You're working yourself to the bone. All you do is work and give to Adida. It's like you've forgotten to take care of yourself." Nuru sighed, his eyes heavy with fatigue. "Django, I love her. She means everything to me. I believe in our future together." Django shook his head, frustration evident in his expression. "But Nuru, look at you. You're exhausted. You're missing out on life. You're sacrificing too much for someone who doesn't seem to appreciate it." Nuru looked away, his heart aching. "You don't understand, Django. Adida has had a hard life. She deserves happiness. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to give her that." Django's eyes softened with empathy. "I understand that you love her, Nuru, but love should be a two-way street. You're giving and giving, and what are you getting in return? Adida is enjoying the comfort you provide, but she is not giving back to you." Nuru's voice trembled with a mix of frustration and despair. "What else can I do, Django? If I don't work hard, how can I ensure our future? How can I make her happy? Django placed a hand on Nuru's shoulder. Nuru, you deserve to be happy too. You deserve someone who loves you for who you are, not just for who you can provide. Please take a step back and think about what you really want. Nuru's eyes filled with tears. I want her to love me, Django. I want to build a life with her. Django sighed, his heart heavy with concern for his friend. I know you do, Nuru. But love shouldn't come at the cost of your well-being. Promise me you'll think about what I have said. Nuru nodded slowly, feeling the weight of Django's words. I promise, Django. I'll think about it. As Django left, Nuru sat by the river, the sound of the water mingling with his troubled thoughts. He couldn't shake the feeling that Django was right, but his heart still clung to the hope that Adida would change, that she would see how much he loved her, and finally reciprocate his feelings. Nuru's dedication to Adida extended beyond their relationship. He often helped her family, providing support and assistance in various ways. One day, Adida's father, Baba Kwame, fell ill and was unable to go fishing. The family faced a dire situation, as fishing was their primary source of income. Nuru visited their home, concern etched on his face. Mama Abena, I heard about Baba Kwame's illness. How can I help? Mama Abena, weary from caring for her husband, sighed. Nuru, we are struggling. Without Baba Kwame's income, we have little to eat. Nuru nodded, determination in his eyes. Don't worry, Mama Abena. I'll take care of everything. Over the next few weeks, Nuru took on extra work in the fields, besides his usual work on the construction site, and sold some of his own belongings to raise money for Adida's family. He brought them food, medicine, and even paid for a doctor to visit Baba Kwame. One evening, as they sat around a modest meal, Mama Abena looked at Nuru with gratitude. Nuru, you have been a blessing to our family. We don't know how to thank you. Nuru smiled warmly. Mama Abena, you don't need to thank me. Adida is important to me, and so is her family. I am happy to help. Adida, observing Nuru's selflessness, felt a mix of admiration and guilt. She appreciated his efforts, but also knew she wasn't giving back as much as he deserved. 2 years passed and Adida's greed grew. One day she met Tunde, a wealthy trader who often visited the village. Tunde was captivated by Adida's beauty and charm. Unlike Nuru, Tunde had the means to offer Adida a life of luxury. Seeing an opportunity to escape her modest life, Adida began to entertain Tunde's advances. Tunde approached Adida with confidence, offering her gifts and promises of a luxury life. Adida, you deserve much more than this village can offer, he said one day, presenting her with a golden bracelet. Come with me, and I'll give you the life you deserve. Adida's eyes widened at the sight of the bracelet. But what about Nuru? She asked, her voice trembling. Tunde smiled, a glint of triumph in his eyes. Nuru can't give you what I can. Think about it, Adida. A life of luxury, everything you've ever wanted. Adida's relationship with Tunde blossomed quickly. She started to distance herself from Nuru, making excuses to avoid him. Nuru, heartbroken and confused, tried to understand what went wrong. One evening, Adida met Nuru and broke the news. She told him that she had found someone better, someone who could provide her with the life she deserved. Nuru's heart shattered into pieces. Adida, please don't do this, Nuru pleaded, his voice trembling. I love you. I've given up so much for you. Adida looked away, guilt and determination battling in her eyes. I am sorry, Nuru. I need more than what you can offer. I hope you understand. Nuru's voice broke. Adida, I have sacrificed everything for you. How can you leave me like this? Adida's eyes were cold as she replied. I'm sorry, Nuru. I have to think about my future. Goodbye. Nuru was devastated. The love of his life had not only left him, but had also taken advantage of him for years. He felt betrayed and humiliated. His dreams of a future with Adida were crushed. He retreated into himself, struggling to cope with the pain. But deep down, he knew he had to move on. Nuru spent days in a daze, unable to eat or sleep. His friends and family tried to comfort him, but the pain was too deep. He felt like a part of him had died. One evening, Mama Adwoa found Nuru sitting by the river, staring into the water. Nuru, my son, she said softly, placing a hand on his shoulder. I know you are hurting, but you must find the strength to move on. Adida wasn't the right one for you. Nuru looked up, tears streaming down his face. Mama, I loved her. I gave her everything. Mama Adwoa sighed, her heart aching for her son. Sometimes we give our love to the wrong people, but that doesn't mean we should stop loving. You have a bright future ahead of you, Nuru. Don't let this hold you back. Despite his mother's comforting words, Nuru felt a storm brewing inside him. The betrayal was too much to bear, and he knew he needed closure. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Nuru marched to Tunde's house. He knocked on the door, his heart pounding in his chest. Tunde answered, surprised to see him. Nuru, what are you doing here? Tunde asked, his tone wary. Nuru took a deep breath. I need to speak to Adida. Now. Tunde hesitated but called for Adida. She appeared, looking startled and uneasy. Nuru, why you are here? She asked, her voice trembling. I need to know why, Nuru said, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Why did you betray me? We had dreams, Adida. We were supposed to build a life together. Adida looked down, unable to meet his eyes. I'm sorry, Nuru. I thought I wanted more. I thought I needed more. Nuru's eyes filled with tears. More? I sacrificed everything for you, Adida. My dreams, my future, all for you. And you threw it all away for what? Luxury? Wealth? Adida's silence spoke volumes. Nuru shook his head, his heart heavy with grief and anger. I hope you find what you're looking for, Adida. But know this, you've lost the one person who truly loved you. Nuru walked away from that confrontation, feeling both revealed and shattered. He had spoken his truth, but the pain of betrayal lingered. He knew he needed to rebuild his life, but the trauma had left deep scars. Determined to move forward, Nuru decided to pursue his dream of going to university. He threw himself into his work, saving every penny, and eventually earned a scholarship. At university, he excelled, channeling his pain into his studies. But the wound left by Adida made it hard for him to trust again, especially when it came to women. Meanwhile, Adida moved in with Tunde and enjoyed a life of luxury. She had everything she ever wanted: fine clothes, jewelry, and a comfortable home. But despite the material wealth, something was missing. Tunde, though generous, was not as kind or loving as Nuru. He was often busy with his business, leaving Adida alone and unfulfilled. One evening, as Adida sat alone in their lavish living room, she thought about Nuru. She missed his warmth, his kindness, and the way he made her feel loved. She realized that money and luxury could not fill the void in her heart. Tunde's business trips became more frequent, and Adida found herself increasingly isolated. During one of these trips, Tunde met Akosua, an intelligent and successful businesswoman. Akosua had graduated from a prestigious university and had built her own business empire. She was everything Tunde admired: intelligent, ambitious, and independent. Tunde and Akosua quickly formed a bond. They shared similar interests, ambitions, and worldviews. Tunde felt a connection with Akosua that he had never felt with Adida. He realized that he wanted a partner who could match him intellectually and professionally. One evening, Tunde returned from a business trip and asked to speak with Adida. Sensing something was wrong, Adida's heart pounded in her chest. "Adida, we need to talk," Tunde said, his voice unusually serious. Adida looked up, fear and a confusion in her eyes. "What is it, Tunde?" Tunde took a deep breath. "I have met someone else, Adida. Her name is Akosua. She's a successful businesswoman, and we have a lot in common. I feel a connection with her that I don't feel with you." Adida's eyes filled with tears. "But Tunde, I've given up everything for you. I left Nuru for you. How can you do this to me?" Tunde looked away, unable to meet her gaze. "I'm sorry, Adida, but I need someone who can understand my world, who can be my equal. Akosua is that person." Adida's voice broke. "What about our life together? The promises you made?" Tunde sighed. "I'm sorry, Adida, but I can't continue this relationship. I hope you can understand." Adida was left devastated. She had sacrificed everything for a life of luxury that had turned out to be a mirage. She realized that she had made a terrible mistake by leaving Nuru, the one person who truly loved her, for a life of material wealth. As she sat alone in the lavish living room, the weight of her decisions crashed down on her. She cried for hours, mourning the loss of both her past and her future. She had betrayed Nuru for a man who had now betrayed her in a similar manner. The irony was not lost on her, and it deepened her sorrow. One day, fate brought Nuru and Adida face to face once more. Nuru, now a successful and confident engineer, returned to his old village with a mission. He was there to plan new water systems and a bridge over the river, projects that would provide better conditions for trading and a better life for the entire community. His heart swelled with pride and love as he thought about giving back to the place that had shaped him. Nuru's parents, Mama Adioa and Baba Mensa, still lived in the village. They were respected elders, known for their wisdom and kindness. They had heard of their son's success and were proud of the man he had become. Nuru was inspecting the site where the new bridge would be built when he saw a familiar figure approaching. It was Adida, looking humbled and worn by her experiences. She hesitated, then gathered her courage and walked towards him. "Nuru," she called softly, her voice trembling. Nuru turned and saw her. For a moment, memories of their past flooded his mind, but he quickly composed himself. "Adida," he replied, his tone neutral. Adida stood before Nuru, her eyes filled with regret. "Nuru, I heard you were back, and I wanted to speak with you. Can we talk?" Nuru nodded, though he kept his distance. "What do you want to talk about, Adida?" Adida took a deep breath. "I wanted to apologize for everything I did. I was wrong to take advantage of your love and leave you for Tunde. I thought I wanted more, but I lost the only thing that truly mattered." Nuru listened, his expression calm, but his eyes reflecting the pain of the past. "Adida, I've moved on from the hurt you caused me. I'm here to help our village, to give back to the community that raised me." Tears welled up in Adida's eyes. "I understand if you can't forgive me, but I wanted you to know that I'm truly sorry. I have learned my lesson the hard way." Nuru sighed, his heart heavy with conflicting emotions. "Adida, forgiveness is a journey, and while I appreciate your apology, it doesn't erase what happened. I've built a new life, and I'm focused on helping our people now." Later that day, Adida found herself at Nuru's parents' house. She had always respected Mama Adioa and Baba Mensa, and she felt a deep need to seek their forgiveness as well. The elder couple welcomed her warmly, their faces kind but knowing. "Adida, it's good to see you," Mama Adioa said, her eyes wise and gentle. "What brings you here today?" Adida bowed her head, her voice trembling. "Mama Adioa, Baba Mensa, I came to apologize for the pain I caused your son. I was selfish and ungrateful. I lost sight of what was truly important." Baba Mensa nodded, his expression thoughtful. We all make mistakes, Adida. What's important is that we learn from them. Have you learned from yours? Adida nodded, tears streaming down her face. Yes, Baba Mensa, I have learned that love and kindness are more valuable than wealth. I regret what I did to Nuru every day. Mama Adwoa reached out and took Adida's hand. We can see that you are sincere in your regret. It will take time, but healing is possible. Focus on becoming a better person, Adida. Over the next few months, Nuru worked tirelessly on the water systems and the new bridge. The villagers were thrilled with the improvements, and Nuru's projects brought new life to the community. Adida, inspired by Nuru's dedication, decided to volunteer and help with projects. She wanted to make amends by contributing to the village's well-being. One day, as they stood by the nearly completed bridge, Nuru and Adida had another conversation. Nuru, I've been helping with the projects and learning a lot. I want to give back to the village too, Adida said earnestly. Nuru looked at her, seeing the genuine change in her. That's good to hear, Adida. Our village needs all the help it can get. Adida nodded, a hopeful smile on her face. Thank you, Nuru. I know it will take time, but I hope we can rebuild our friendship. Nuru gave a small smile, a sign of hope for the future. We'll see, Adida, one step at a time. What do you think about Adida and Nuru's reaction? Will Adida truly learn her lesson and change for the better? Or will she continue to seek out the next wealthy man to support her? Can Nuru, still under the impact of betrayal, ever trust again? Should he forgive Adida, and is even a friendship with her worth the constant reminder of past pain? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for the next episode of this captivating African tale. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you won't miss any of the upcoming stories. See you in the next story. Bye bye.